Alright. Look like everything live and good to go. You know what I'm saying? Contender regime, boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. I know I'm a little late. Man. You feel me? But it's good. We gonna cook, man. Let's chop it up. You dig what I'm saying? What's good, man? We gonna talk a little boxing tonight. You know what I'm saying? Got a cooler, you know what I'm saying? Cool little couple things I want to touch on, man. And you know we Merlot up. You know what I'm saying? Sun slight, nothing too crazy. You feel me? Let me let folks get on up in here, man. We gonna get it going. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Grindworks Entertainment in the building. What's good with you, man? I hope you're doing well. What's good? You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a little late, y'all, but shit, man. Say better late than never. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit that like button as you slide through. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. They say Terence Crawford, he might go ahead and make that move. We gonna talk about it. Make sure I got all my settings and everything good. All right. Okay, bet. We good. So yeah, man. Terence Crawford, you know, look like he finally gonna make that move. We all know that Terence Crawford is supposedly in his last fight of his top ranked contract. You know what I'm saying? Which is great as far as from the boxing fans' perspective, from everything that we seen with them, you know, with the perceived reason behind him not getting the fights that we all want to see him in is the business side. We all know Bob Arum is extremely cheap and really don't want to put no money behind Terence Crawford. He came out multiple times and said, you know, this is why I'm not willing to put no money behind this guy, which is all bullshit at the end of the day, but that's just the reality of the situation. And now that, you know, we're here, he's having his last fight under the top ranked banner with Sean Porter. And this is amazing. And you know, Teddy Atlas, salute to Jay Einstein in the building. What's good, man? Appreciate you for coming through. Buck Style in the building. What's good? Greetings to you, man. You know, so Teddy Atlas, I don't know if y'all watch Teddy Atlas's show on YouTube. You know, and shout out to my brother D from It's Levels Boxing. You feel me? He put me on to Teddy Atlas's show, man, and Teddy Atlas dropped a little nugget, said that he got some inside information that Terence Crawford is indeed done with Top Rank. He said you could take it to the bank. It's a sure thing, you know. He didn't give up any sources, anything like that, which of course you're not supposed to, but that's the word on the street, man. Terence Crawford is officially severing ties with Top Rank after this last fight with Sean Porter. So I want to know how y'all feel about that. We gonna dive into it, man, and really talk about it, the implications, what that might mean for Terence Crawford, what that might mean for the welterweight division. Salute to the brother Sliding Counter in the building, man. Appreciate you for pulling up. Skinny 2 Liter Reacts in the building. What's good? Salute. Hey, shout out to my brother Punch Perfect Boxing in the building, man. One of the best boxing channels on YouTube, on the internet, period, man. Salute to you, bro. Jay Harris, Too Real in the building. What's good? Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you for pulling up. Kevin Brower in the building. What's good with you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button as you slide through. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You know, man, but this is this is real good news, man. Bakari King in the building. Salute. You know, this real good news. This is real good news. And you know what I think with what Terence Crawford should do, man, I don't want him. I'm not one of those people that say, man, he need to go sign with the PBC or he need to sign with these people. I think he should do his own thing, man, be independent. be your own boss, man. You know, me and a couple of the homies, we always talk about how these fighters, you know, they claim that they own boss. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm throwing in Earl Spence, you know, the Charlos, whoever else claim that they own boss in this boxing shit, but they really not though. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it 100. You know, it's only a select few motherfuckers that's really their own boss that's moving like that. As much as I despise drug cheats in the sport of boxing, man, Canelo Alvarez, he one of them guys. You feel me? Floyd Mayweather was one of them guys. You know, a lot of y'all don't like Mikey Garcia, but when he got out of his contract with Top Rank, he was one of them guys. He bet on himself and he was his own boss. That's why he can go fight on different networks and platforms and shit like that, and he can pick and choose who he want to fight and shit like that. You dig what I'm saying? So for all these fighters that's claiming that they their own boss, man, you really got to move like that. So for Terence Crawford, I wouldn't advise him to go sign with PBC. I wouldn't advise him to go sign with no, you know what I'm saying, Golden Boy, nobody like that. Phil J508 in the building. Salute to you. Richard Dean in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Don't do that shit. You know, you can fight, you can be a mercenary. You know what I'm saying? If somebody want to do a 2-fight deal with you, bet, do a 2-fight deal. You want to do a fight by fight basis. You fight for this network and then fight for that network. Whichever network got the best fights for you at that particular time, then that's what you do. At this point, Terence Crawford is at a certain point in his career, man, where he's accomplished all the things that he wanted to accomplish as far as, on paper, as far as the accolades and the championships and all of the, he made a lot of money in the sport of boxing, contrary to a lot of people's belief. Terence Crawford, he done made some good money. You heard Bob Arum say, man, I done lost a lot of money on him because shit, he been paying him a guaranteed rate this whole time, whether the fight do good or do bad, no matter what the opponent is. You know what I'm saying? He been getting paid a consistent rate, which is probably one of the main reasons why he stayed with Top Rank, because his check always good every time. But at this point, man, he done made a lot of money. He's a 3-division champion. He's one of the 6 of the only undisputed champions in history in the 4-belt era. Bro, you don't need no promotional company. You don't need no big network to sign like a long-term deal with them. You don't have to do that. You Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Now, it ain't gonna be no type of obstacles it shouldn't be for you to make the Earl Spence fight now. You know what I'm saying? You take your rightful share, what you actually deserve. Don't go crazy on some, I need, 50-50. What I mean, if you feel like it's 50-50, y'all got to work out whatever it is. But at the same time, this removes a lot of that bullshit. It allows you to really, make the fights that you're trying to make. And then we know that with Terence Crawford being signed with Top Rank, let's say Terence Crawford in his mind, even if he wanted to take the 60-40, and I think Terence Crawford will take that. Bob Arum wasn't gonna do that because Bob Arum gonna get a piece of anything that Terence Crawford get. So that's why Bob Arum was pushing so heavy for 50-50. I'm gonna be real with you. Terence Crawford probably cool with the 50 with the 60-40 shit. Terence Crawford probably cool with that shit, but Bob Arum not cool with that. You feel me? So Bob Arum trying to make sure he get the highest percentage so he can eat off Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? So he can eat off the numbers that Spence gonna bring to the table. You feel me? But now that Crawford gonna be on his own shit, if he stay independent, you take that middleman out and you can make the deals that make the most sense for you. And you can get the fights that you need for your legacy. Ain't no reason, in my opinion, to be signing with no promotional company. No, none of that. Terence Crawford don't need that. And when Earl Spence get to once he get to the point where his contract is up with PBC, he need to do the same thing. I think Earl Spence got a contract with Fox. Once his shit is up, he need to dip on them boys too and do his own thing. You already got man down promotions. You don't need no motherfucking long-term deal with no network and no bullshit like that. You don't need that because you Earl Spence at the end of the day. Your name gonna hold weight. You can move and groove and do what you want to do and make the fights that's gonna put you in the best position. these fighters got to start understanding what their real power is. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to keep it real with you. Every fighter can't do this. You know, the up-and-coming guys who really ain't got no type of steam behind them, who really ain't put in no work, you know what I'm saying, who really ain't beat the pavement up and put themselves in a position to be able to call shots and be able to demand, you know, a nice size gate when they do a live fight and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Who really can't bring out no pay-per-view numbers, you know, when they do have a pay-per-view fight, no matter who the opponent is. If you ain't on that level yet, then you might have to stay with a handler. You might have to have a handler. You know what I'm saying? But for the guys who got skin in the game, man, who done been doing this shit, they done built the name up for themselves. They put themselves in a certain position. Bro, you don't need all that shit. You know, these fighters really got to understand the power that they have over these handlers, the big wigs, the networks, and the sanctioning bodies too. The fighters really bigger than the belts, if we being real. You know, because shit, all these belts is really just used as leverage to make fights more attractive. You know, motherfuckers really don't care about, most of these fighters is what it seemed like, and I know the handlers, they don't really care about the legacy aspect of being a champion or being undisputed and shit. Now, I will say this the year of the Undisputed. We done had more undisputed matches since the last time I can ever remember. This year. You know what I'm saying? Clarissa Shields, JT versus Jose Ramirez. You know, you had motherfucking Castano and Charlo, Canelo and Caleb Plant. You feel me? Man, you had undisputed fights, you know, throughout this whole year. You had you could have had Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, you know, but like I said, some guys, they don't value that legacy aspect of holding them belts. They only use that shit as a marketing tool to make a fight more attractive, to be able to sell some shit. You know what I'm saying? So the fighters also have a value over these belts that they don't realize. So when, like Earl Spence, if you see the WBA playing these puss-ass games where they won't let you and Yordenis Ugas fight, man, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfucking Devin Haney. You know, he the WBC champion, but for a while they coming out and being real about the shit now because people on their neck. You see Mauricio Suleiman, he done came out and said Devin Haney the champion. Teofimo Lopez ain't undisputed. You know, motherfuckers starting to realize it because that heat getting up under Teofimo Lopez ass, right? But for a while, they was playing Devin Haney. Everybody know he the champion, but they was trying to play him. Man, if I was Devin Haney at that time, I'm glad he stuck through it. But if I was Devin Haney at that time, I would have said, fuck that damn belt, bro. That shit don't make me. I'm paying sanctioning fees on this belt, and y'all trying to play me like I'm not the champion? Man, my name hold more weight than this belt, bro. This shit don't make me. You know, so once we get to that point, you know, where fighters can really understand, look, I really got the power. You dig what I'm saying? But it's going to take some time because these fighters still so dependent on the system. You dig what I'm saying? Salute to everybody that came through, man. I appreciate it, bro. I'm up here cooking, man. Y'all done got me in a little groove right now. Shout out to the brother Mike Jones. Said Bob looked kind of sad during the press conference knowing this Crawford last fight. Yeah, real talk. They know something. They know what's going on. Jay Einstein said, fuck the middleman. Big facts. You don't need them, bro. Said, yeah, I agree. Plus, with most of these elite fighters in their mid-30s now, not much time left for these mega fights to happen. For real. Real talk. DJ Zion Love in the building. Salute to you, my brother. What's good? You know, I'm sipping on a little Merlot. Something slight, nothing crazy. You dig what I'm saying? But, you know, it's time for these fighters to start realizing the power that they got, bro. You know? And when Terence Crawford, once he severed ties with Top Rank, I'm pretty sure that shit, you know, from what I've been seeing, you know, and what I've been hearing through the grapevine, man, is really a done deal. He done with Top Rank. You know, this the last fight. So I'm happy for him, and I hope he make the right decision going forward, man. Don't jump into no major deal with PBC or fucking DAZN or no shit like that. You know, if they want to deal with you on a fight by fight basis, they gotta promise you something. If PBC want to do business with you, they gotta promise you, all right, look, you getting Earl Spence off tops if that's what you want. If you want Keith Thurman, you get Keith Thurman off tops. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? Period. That's just how it gotta go. You don't need to sign with no damn promotional company. You got your own shit going on. You and Bomac. You know what I'm saying? Fact, you are the fighter. Let your power be shown. For real. And you know what's crazy? You know, Terence Crawford used to get up there and say all the time, man, look, you know, I'm the fighter. He's my promoter. He worked for me. I'm the boss. But it don't seem like that, do it? When you look at the dynamic between Terence Crawford, Terence Crawford and Bob Arum, their relationship, who seemed like the boss? It don't seem like Terence Crawford the boss do it. It don't. It don't seem like he the boss. And keep it 100. You know, when you look at Earl Spence and Al Heyman or whoever his handler, I know Earl Spence got his own promotional company, but he still, you know, he telling motherfuckers to call Al and shit. When you look at Earl Spence and Al Heyman and them and whoever he talking to on the business side, it don't look like Earl Spence the boss. Just keeping it 100 with you. It look like he in more control of his shit than Terence Crawford is, but it don't look like he the boss because he can't get the fights that he want. Not all the time. Now, it does take two people. It take the other fighter to want to get in there too. But once you do get in that position of where you moving and grooving on your own, you can kind of, you know, you can make some shit happen that you probably couldn't make happen if you had a handler over your back and a matchmaker saying, you feel me, like, nah, you got to do this, you got to do that. You know? Nah, EJ definitely moved more freely than Bud, but it still ain't, nah, it don't seem like he is on boss. Not to me. Not to me. You know what I'm saying? It don't. I feel like when Spence get to a position to where he can dip out on PBC and do his own shit, he need to do the same shit. He need to do the same shit. Earl Spence telling motherfuckers to call Al. Why I'ma call Al for? If I'm Earl Spence, I'm my own boss. Why you need to call Al for? What business you need to talk with Al if I'm my own boss? Ask yourself that question. What you need to call Al for? Salute to my brother Knockout Boxing 86 TV in the building, man. I appreciate you for pulling up another great boxing analyst on this YouTube shit, man. Keep doing your thing, bro. Say salute, bro. If Crawford re-signed with Top Rank instead of being independent or signing with PBC, does he really want the smoke with the best? Do you go to the football field if you want to play basketball? Hey, that's a hell of a point. Great point. If he does re-sign with Top Rank, then that's confirmation that he don't want the smoke. Now, I've gotten everything sent to me, and all roads lead to him not signing with Top Rank again. All roads tell me, all information and sources tell me that he won't sign with Top Rank again. He'll either be independent or he'll go sign with somebody else. I think he should just do the independent shit. I don't want to see him sign with PBC neither. If he do, okay, cool. That makes sense because you at the, you know, you still in your prime, but now you own that second half of your career, and you probably gonna end your career at welterweight. All the best welterweights are at PBC. You might as well, if you're gonna sign with anybody, you might as well sign with them. But I'd rather him just do his own independent thing. You feel me? But if he actually does sign with PBC, that let me know he really trying to fight, you know, the guys that's over there. Devin Block in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you for coming through. What's good? Dyer's Creek deep in the building. What's good? What's happening? Yeah, salute to the brother Sheldon Moore too. You feel me? Yeah, Al Heyman, he control all the PBC fighters. Big facts. He do. He do. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes not their own boss. It sound good to say that shit, but you not. You not moving like that. You know what I mean? Said, not capping, but Al has the network and the dates. That's why he said call Al. Exactly. That's true. That's true. But at the same time, when you're independent, you don't have to conform to somebody who already have like a set schedule. Shout out to the Queen Lala D in the building. Appreciate you for pulling up. You don't have to conform to somebody's set schedule already. You can get in where you fit in. You know what I'm saying? If Al Heyman got dates and shit already set up, if you your own boss, fuck that. Let's work out some shit that's gonna work for both of us. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. Because Al Heyman, he got shit sold up, and it's good. I love what Al Heyman got going on with the PBC. But it's still those fighters over there, they not the boss. They have freedom. They have more freedom than, let's say, a Terence Crawford might have, but they still not their own boss. What Canelo doing, he his own boss. What Floyd was doing, he was his own boss. You know what I'm saying? That's how you move when you're your own boss. You know, you can say, bet, if I want to fight 4 times a year, I'm going to fight 4 times a year. I don't give a damn who I'm fighting. If I'm fighting Yildirim, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant, I don't give a damn who it is. Billy Joe Saunders. If I want to fight 4 times a year, I'm going to fight 4 times a year. I don't got to wait on them to give me no date. Canelo don't got to wait on nobody to give him no date. If he want to fight, he gonna line some shit up and fight. He gonna say, he gonna call somebody, he gonna offer them a bag and say, look, you can be here on this date, this the venue, pull up, we gotta fight. Them PBC dudes not doing that. They gotta wait to get a date from Al Heyman. They waiting on the schedule and shit. You not your own boss. What you is an independent contractor. That's a good way to put it, you know. So you got a lot of freedom, but you not necessarily like really just calling hella shots like that. Salute to my brother Justin Coleman in the building, man. I appreciate you for coming through, man. Said Al may have control, but it looks like it's off EJ vision. Seem to be based off resume though. Salute to the brother Captain in the super chat coming through and showing love. I appreciate it. Salute to you, my G. What's good? Pool counter boxing in the building. Yeah, man. Crawford not re-signing with Top Rank, man. That's the news you can use, man. That's the news that I got. You know, it seemed like it's official. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happened. You know, I wouldn't put it past him, man. Anything could go down, but the way it's looking, man, Terence Crawford and his team, you know, they're adamantly, you know, saying that they're not gonna re-sign with Top Rank and they gonna do their own thing. You feel me? Said facts, they got their own LLC, but they ain't out here making boss moves like that. Big facts. You know, so I'm not saying that the PBC guys not in a great position, because they are. But it's a difference between being in a great position, having a whole lot of freedom, and then just being your own boss. You know what I mean? Like I said, Canelo, if Canelo want to fight 6 times a year, he gonna do it. If Errol Spence, even if I don't even think he want to, but even if he wanted to fight 4, 5 times a year, he can't. Because PBC got dates. They got a whole schedule lined up, and you can only fit in right here. You can only fit in right here. And we only got this amount of money for this group of guys, for this layout, and this what it is. So even if Earl wanted to fight 4, 5 times a year, he can't. That's the difference. That's why when you get on that level, bro, and you got your own promotional company, what you need handlers for? I know it's probably easier because Al Heyman is a very successful businessman. He looks out for his guys. He puts you in great positions to make money. And it's it's like it's easily facilitated for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can easily, okay, you know, I got a good selection of guys I can fight over here. You know what I'm saying? I have these potential dates, these potential venues. When you work without Heyman, you got access to certain things. You feel me? But there's a downside to that as well. There's a downside to that as well. Salute to the brother Richard Dean in the super chat coming through and showing love. Man, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Shout out to Vision Ain't Blurry. What's good? Said, what's good, bro? I strongly believe that Canelo fights are fixed. Said all his past opponents seem like they have no dog in the end rounds. Yeah, man. You know, going back to Teddy Atlas, he was saying some shit. He said some very interesting things on his show, you know, where he was like, he said, man, I don't want to see another fight like that. He said, I'm tired of seeing Canelo in here. And hey, I'm not shitting on Caleb Plant. Shout out to Caleb Plant. You know, he's a skilled fighter, but like Teddy Atlas said, man, I'm tired of seeing guys in there that, you know, they don't got no X factor. It's like these guys don't believe they can win. They just show up to be competitive and just get by. You feel me? You know, and like he was saying, also, I would rather see him in there with guys who you probably don't think are as skilled, but they got some type of X factor. They coming in that bitch to win, like Triple G. You know what I'm saying? Triple G had, even though Triple G was like 36 when they fought, Triple G had an X factor. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers fear Triple G. You know, David Benavidez. I don't necessarily think he'll beat Canelo, but he got an X factor. He got great hand speed and power, and he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he a motherfucker that you just can't imagine folding. You think he gonna fight with Canelo. Same thing with Jamal Charlo. A lot of people don't think Charlo can beat Canelo, but he got an X factor. He got power, and he got dog, and he got combinations, and he got athleticism, and you just can't imagine Jamal Charlo just folding. You got to knock him out. You know what I'm saying? You can't just imagine Jamal Charlo or David Benavidez or Artur Beterbiev. You can't imagine these dudes just going in that bitch just folding. You know, they got X factors. It's a different Triple G, like I said. You know, Triple G, I can't imagine Triple G just going in that bitch and laying down. He got an X factor. So from that perspective, I definitely agree with you, bro. I don't know about the fights being fixed, but they're definitely well strategically chosen. Remember, I made a video, salute to the brother BC. Remember, I made a video where I said Canelo is a masterful he's a masterful cherry picker. You feel me? Masterful. Very masterful. And that when I say Canelo is a masterful cherry picker, people think that I'm hating on him or I'm trying to discredit him. Bruh, that is a compliment. It's a compliment. It's the same thing that Floyd Mayweather and the money team that they doing with Tank Davis. You pick your fights very strategically and you set everything up to where it just make you look spectacular. You know what I mean? That is a compliment. That means you got a great eye for matchmaking. That means you know what the fuck you looking at when you selecting these fights. So when I say Canelo is a masterful cherry picker, people think I'm trying to like discredit. I'm like, bro, hell yeah, you cold with that shit. You masterful. It ain't hating, bro. It's just stating the obvious. You dig what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you know, I would love to see Canelo in there with the guys who we perceive as dangerous, like the Demetrius Andres. You know, he say he don't want to fight him because he's a boring fighter, but you know, people think Andre to give him problems. You know, he never showed any interest in fighting Jamal Charlo. People think he'll give him problems. Never showed any interest in fighting Benavidez. People think he'll give him problems. You know, never really showed interest in fighting Artur Beterbiev. When he went up to fight Kovalev, we knew Kovalev, he only had, number one, Kovalev is a drunk, and he was old and on his way out. And then he had just went tooth and nail with Anthony Yard, who didn't have really no boxing experience. And he made Kovalev fight him on it was like 10 weeks from his last fight. So instead of going up to 175 to fight Archer Beterbiev, who was the unified champion, who just came off a big win versus Alexander Vostok, he fought Kovalev. That is a prime example of masterful cherry picking. Why go up and fight Kovalev instead of fighting Archer Beterbiev? You know what I'm saying? Why go up and fight Kovalev when you could have fought Dmitry Bivol? Like, these dudes undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Beterbiev, unified champion. These are obviously tougher matches. But he went to fight Kovalev. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a discredit to Canelo. He's a masterful cherry picker. That's a skill. That's not, you gotta give a motherfucker credit for that shit. That's why I say Tank Davis got one of the best teams in boxing, because they are moving him strategically. I don't think Tank Davis is afraid to fight any of these guys, but his team, they are moving him extremely strategic. They want to put him in certain fights that make him look spectacular because they building a star. That's matchmaking. See, I see behind all, like, the extra shit I be seeing behind all that shit. J-Toe, you saying he gonna stop those guys, that's cool, but we want to see it though. You know what I'm saying? We want to see it. I'm not saying that Canelo lose to any of those guys. I'm just saying I want to see the shit. That's all I'm saying. You know, I knew Floyd Mayweather was gonna whoop Canelo ass, but I still wanted to see the fight. I knew Floyd was gonna whoop Manny Pacquiao ass. I knew it wasn't shit Manny Pacquiao could do to Floyd. I still wanted to see the fight. Every fight that Floyd Mayweather was in, I knew he was gonna win, but I still wanted to see it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, but again, shout out to Canelo, man, because he his own boss. I fuck with that. These other guys, they need to take notes. Terence Crawford, when you get out this last fight with Top Rank, bro, you gotta motherfucking take notes. That's how you move. That's how you make shit happen that you want. If you want to move like how Canelo moving, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Earl Spence, this go for you too. The Charlo, but this go for y'all too. Anybody that got a name behind them, that really, you know what I'm saying, like, all you need is a dance partner. That's it. You got a team, you got a name, you got a fan base. Man, all you need is your promotional company and a network to fight on, and a motherfucker that's willing to get in there with you. Oh, I missed a super chat, my fault. Let me go back here. Make sure I get my brother. Salute to the OG Mr. Munt in the super chat coming through and showing love, man. Appreciate you for pulling up. Good to have you. Said, I was like that. He said, it was like that was the first big punch Plant ever got hit with. He was done after that one shot. Facts. Facts, bruh. That's real talk. You know, when Canelo, you know, came up, boom, landed that left hook over the head, I'm like, damn, you know, Caleb seemed like she, you know what I mean? I know Canelo got power, but goddamn, you know what I'm saying? I know you done been hit harder than that. You know, but again, I ain't saying that, you know, he took a dive or nothing like that. It's just like, it's just crazy how these dudes, they just crumble and fold. And I just want to see him in there with somebody who I feel like got that dog. You know, I told y'all I thought Caleb Plant was a skilled boxer. Skilled, got ability. Go back to the video that I made. I said, you know, can Caleb Plant beat Canelo? Yeah, he got the tools. He got the size. He got the perceived style and the skills. You know, he's a boxer, footwork, hand speed. But what I tell y'all was going to come down to, it was going to come down to the intangible shit. The shit that you can't see. It was going to come down to your mind and your heart. And I ain't saying, you know, Caleb soft or nothing like that, but he ain't got that dog like that. You dig what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep it real with you. He in the ring, y'all heard him, he in there talking to Canelo and shit, talking about, You respect my skills? I'm pretty good, ain't I? Yeah, I'm pretty good for somebody that's 21-0. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. That's some bullshit, dog. Ain't nowhere in hell I'm in a fight with a motherfucker. I'm in here asking this motherfucker questions and shit. Man, you got me fucked up. I'm in a fight. Salute to the Queen Nick J. Yeah, I'ma do him like that. I'ma do him like that. You got me fucked up. I'm in a fight. We in the heat of battle. And I'm in here asking you questions and shit. Man, he was in there looking for mercy. He was in there looking for respect. Bruh, in a situation like that, you gotta take your respect. You gotta make that motherfucker feel you. That's some bullshit. That shit right there, that was soft as fuck to me. I ain't like that. Nah, that wasn't no sarcastic shit. That was him in there. Cause I done seen shit like that in real life before. You ain't ever seen a motherfucker getting their ass beat. You know what I'm saying? And they start like trying to joke around and shit. Like, motherfucker, we not joking. This shit ain't no game. Nah, I'm getting on your ass. This shit ain't no game. You know, shit done got too real for a motherfucker in there. Now they want to make jokes and shit. Hell no, this shit real. Hell no. Hey, I gotta keep it real. I don't think Benavidez would have done no shit like that. Said mid-fight just talking on some DBZ shit. Yeah, like this shit a game or something. Like this shit anime or something. Hey, look, I don't think Benavidez would have been on no shit like that. Benavidez, you gonna have to knock his ass out. And he would have been in that bitch talking like on some I'm trying to be your friend type shit. You know? If you gonna be in that bitch talking, yeah, I would have been, yeah, whole ass nigga, what's, you know what I'm saying? What's good? Yeah, I'm on your ass. What's up? Some shit like that, but I wouldn't been on no friendly shit. Man, Caleb Plant was on that friendly shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was on that friendly shit. When I seen that, bro, that was a bad look. I hated that somebody had sent me that. I hated that. You know, and I got respect for Caleb Plant. This, you know, I'm not talking no shit. Cause look, that man a professional boxer. He do this shit. I don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But all I could do is just give you the real from my perspective and what I see. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I can only equate that shit or compare it to the shit that I seen in my life. You know what I mean? That shit was some friendly ass shit. That was some friendly ass shit. I'm like, man, this dude in here, man, this dude. Hey, Canelo wasn't trying to hear that shit, bro. Hey, Canelo wasn't trying to hear that shit, man. This dude in there talking, man, Canelo wasn't trying to hear that shit. Canelo low-key was trying to wait for him to slip up so he can pop his ass upside the head or something. He was like, oh, yeah, keep talking. Boy, I can't wait till you slip up. I'm going to bust your ass upside the head real quick. Canelo wasn't trying to hear that shit. He wasn't trying to do no talking in there. Salute to the brother Eclectic Agitator in the building. What's good? Grind Hard Sports Nation in the building. What's happening? You know, but like I said, man, you know, he's been fighting some skillful guys. D Luckett in the building. Salute to my brother, man. What's good? You know? Salute to the brother Tex Rock in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, what's good, family? Man, ain't nothing, just chilling, talking this boxing. Said Canelo was like, I know. Hell yeah. He like, motherfucker, I know I'm bad. I don't need you to tell me. You finna see how bad I am. He told him at the press conference, you gonna see something special. You gonna see something special on you. You know what I'm saying? Jason, the y'all in the building, what's good? Said you can't be friendly in the ring with Canelo or anybody. Facts. Brent Jones in the building, salute. Said, what did you guys have as score going into the 11th? I actually had it close. Hey, Brent Jones, I'm glad you asked that question because, you know, I never actually like covered the fight, post-fight. But I had, I gave Caleb Plant the first 4 rounds. After the 4th round, he didn't win a round. Motherfuckers might disagree with me. After the 4th round, Caleb Plant didn't win a round. I gave him the first 4 rounds. I thought he was boxing beautifully. He didn't win a round after that. I didn't have Caleb Plant winning a round after the fourth. He didn't win a round after the fourth. He started slowing down. He started getting tired and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, at first, in the first 4 rounds, you know what I'm saying, he had the shoulder roll was working good. You know, he had Canelo hitting, you know, shoulders and arms and shit. You know, Canelo go to the body, he blocking them bitches. You know what I'm saying? He got good head movement. He looked fast. You know what I'm saying? He even stood in the middle of the ring at certain times when Canelo was just trying to really feel him out and see what the fuck was going on. James Smith in the building, salute. You know, he was getting in where he could fit in those first 4 rounds. But it seemed, I don't know if it was mental fatigue that turned into physical fatigue, that mental pressure that actually does have you. It does affect your physical. You know what I'm saying? It does affect you physically in the ring when you under a lot of mental pressure and shit like that. You know, but it seemed like after the 4th round, he started slowing down and Canelo started to get his timing. You know, but again, it's timing with Canelo, and then on top of that, it's the fact that Caleb Plant, he started slowing down. He wasn't moving the same no more. Then you seen a lot of those shots that he was having rolling out. He was making Canelo shit roll off. A lot of them bitches, they started landing. You started seeing Caleb Plant head pop back more and more. I'm like, God damn, what happened to your defense? You were just up 4 rounds. I'm watching the fight. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? Show me something. I'm like, God damn. But shit, round 5, round 6. What happened to your legs? What happened to your head movement? You know? But I will credit Canelo for that. Constant pressure. A lot of people say he haven't learned to cut the ring off over all these years. I think Canelo has done a great job of cutting the ring off. In that fight, he done a hell of a job of cutting the ring off on Caleb Plant. An excellent job. I don't really think it was the body shots because Canelo really wasn't landing a whole lot of those. I think it was, those do play a big factor, don't get me wrong. But I think it was more so the pressure. Canelo, I'm telling y'all, man, look, when you're great at cutting the ring off, it's the same thing I say about Errol Spence. Errol Spence is one of the best fighters in boxing when it comes to cutting the ring off. When he on his bully shit, when he on his walk you down shit. Canelo he's grown to, he wasn't this good at cutting the ring off when he fought Lara. He wasn't this good at cutting the ring off when he fought Floyd, and Floyd stood right in front of him. But he wasn't this good at cutting the ring off when he fought Austin Trout. He's gotten extremely more gifted and more technical when it comes to cutting that ring off. Making you work even when you don't want to work. When Caleb Plant wanted to take rest, ain't no rest, bitch. Ain't no rest, bitch. No, you gonna have to throw punches. I'm gonna make you expend some energy. You gonna have to move your head, you gonna have to throw a jab, you gonna have to do something. I'm gonna make your ass work. And then that's why you seen like round 6. Oh yeah, he started getting touched up. Cause shit, Canelo making his ass work the whole fight. And it's another thing. This why I say when you fight Canelo, you gotta have some dog. This why I wasn't tripping so much when they gave Canelo the win over Erislandy Lara. I scored that fight 7-5 for Lara. But when they said Canelo won, I wasn't tripping because his offense wasn't there. See, when you fight Canelo, you can't just be all defense. That shit ain't gonna work. You gotta be willing to stand in the motherfucking fire and fight that motherfucker. That's your only option. You gotta have some, because you can't move like, unless your conditioning is like otherworldly, unless your conditioning is on like, unless your conditioning crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like your conditioning gotta be Dumb. Your shit gotta be stupid. Unless your conditioning like that, bro, you can't move like that for the whole fight, bro. You gonna start getting popped. When shit get tough for you, and that motherfucker done got close enough, and you can't move, you tired now, you can't move your head like you. Lara didn't get tired, but he wasn't throwing no punches neither. He wasn't throwing enough. He wasn't throwing enough. Lara didn't give enough offense. Again, if you had Lara winning that fight, I agree. I had Lara up 7-5. So if you think Lara won, we agree. But I can understand why Canelo got the win because of he had the aggression. It wasn't extremely effective, but he was making a fight and he was throwing a lot of punches to the body. A lot of that shit showed up on Lara. He was throwing punches and landing good shit to the body in that fight. And Lara, when he had opportunities to stand in the middle, in the middle of the ring with Canelo and just give a little bit of offense, just give him a flurry. Give him a couple of flurries. You don't have, look, I'm gonna give you an example. Go back and watch Danny Jacobs versus Triple G. Go back and watch Danny Jacobs versus Triple G. When Danny Jacobs fought Triple G, he was winning that fight. He was outboxing him, even when he got knocked down. But his coach told him to keep moving. You winning, which was dumb as fuck. All Danny Jacobs had to do was just give Triple G a couple of flurries. Here and there. You don't have to do nothing crazy. Just give him a few. You already outboxing him. But stand in the middle of the ring and you gotta show the judges I'm in control. Give him some flurries. Show your offense a little bit. Lara didn't do that. And Caleb Plant, his ass, every now and then he'll, give him a little 1-2 or 1-2-3. But he wasn't standing his ground and trying to fight. At some point, when Floyd fought Canelo, bruh, Floyd stood in that motherfucker. He was fighting Canelo. Now, Canelo couldn't hit him, but he was in that bitch throwing combinations. I'm talking about 3, 4s, and 5s. You can clearly see who was in control of that fight. You can't just move all 12 rounds with Canelo and that's it. No, you gotta have some offense. Salute to the brother Jay Harris, too real, in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, how we start talking about Canelo, the pressure that Canelo puts on fighters is what breaks them. I don't see anyone beating him, but he needs to fight Charlo, David, Andre, etc. just to see. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you 100%. But yeah, man, like I said, you gotta have, and that's why I would love to see him in there with, the David Benavidez's, the Jamal Charlos, Demetrius Andre, more specifically like Benavidez, Charlo, Better BF, because these guys have boxing ability, but they don't 100% rely on their boxing ability. You know what I'm saying? What Floyd Mayweather always say? What Floyd always say? Floyd always say, yeah, I can box, but at the end of the day, I can fucking fight. Y'all remember Floyd always saying that shit? At the end of the day, I know I can fucking fight. When he say that, he not talking about just pure boxing. He talking about when it come down to it, I can fight, period. You gotta have that extra gear. You can't be no Paulie Malignaggi motherfucker out here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that extra gear. And that's why, like I said, with Charlo, Benavidez, Better BF, guys like that, these guys have skills. They can box. We know Charlo got a nice jab. He can box when he want to. You done seen him in fights where you seen him versus Deverenchenko where he looked phenomenal. And then he fought Montiel, which is a lesser opponent of Deverenchenko, and he looked trash. So you see, these guys have ups and downs when they fight, and a lot of that is due to inactivity and bad matchmaking, but we'll talk about that later. But my point is, Charlo can box, but he don't just rely on boxing. Charlo will fight you. Now, if you knock him out, you knock him out. If you hurt him, you hurt him. But that motherfucker gonna fight your ass, though. David Benavidez, he can box. Got a nice jab. You know what I'm saying? Fast hands. But he'll fight your motherfucking ass, though. My brother Tex Rock just mentioned Dimitri Bivol. Bivol can box, too. But he'll fight you, too. I like Bivol. I think the best matches, just me personally, but you're not wrong. I like Bivol a lot. I think he matches up very good with Canelo. But just me personally, like off of just the entertainment factor, I think the most fun fights for Canelo from a fan perspective would be out of those three guys that I named. Better BF, Charlo, Benavidez. I think those are the fights that, like, you know what I'm saying? Those are the fights that'll make a nigga like, I haven't bought none of these Canelo pay-per-views. I would buy one of those. You know what I'm saying? I'll buy one of those. Especially Benavidez and Charlo. You know what I'm saying? I haven't bought none of these Canelo pay-per-view. I would buy one of those. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I'm saying. And Teddy Atlas said the same thing. Everything that I'm saying right now, Teddy Atlas been saying this shit for the longest. People call him a hater, but I don't think he hating on Canelo. I think he just saying he want to see somebody in there that got that X factor. Somebody that, when that boxing shit don't work, can you fight? Triple G was the last guy that he's been in there like that. Been in there with that was like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, like I said, Triple G was 36 when he fought Canelo. But it was still two good fights. Even at that age, still two good-ass fights. Because Triple G got that X factor. He'll fight. If that boxing shit don't work, he gonna fight. When that boxing shit didn't work for Caleb Plant, he wasn't fighting. He was in that bitch trying to survive. You can't beat Canelo like that. You got to make him respect you. And then if you trying to win a decision, salute to my brother Big Tex 33 in the building. What's good? If you trying to win a decision, you definitely going to have to fight in that bitch. You know, you already know you come in that bitch down 3 rounds off top. You down 3 or 4 rounds off top. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it 100. So you definitely got to do some fighting in that bitch. You got to damn near drop Canelo. You got to do something, bro. You can't just be in that bitch just trying to survive, just doing just enough to win. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. Said, I don't see Charlo going in there and beating Canelo with 2 champs on his resume. I respect that. I just want to see it, though. I just want to see it. I don't give a fuck if he knocked Jamal Charlo out. I just want to see it. Because you know why? I know in order to beat Jamal Charlo, you got to knock him out. In order to beat David Benavidez, you got to knock his ass out. That's why. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Because they're going to fight your ass. Said Virgil Hunter trains him. Who? Mike Jones said, I have no suspense going into Canelo fights. Facts. That's why I don't buy none of them pay-per-views, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no suspense. I'm like, you know, he got this one. He's a heavy favorite. You know what I'm saying? And again, a lot of that is on Canelo because he's that good. But then also, it's the opponents too. And that's why I think this is why a lot of people get on Canelo. Now, the man just became undisputed, so it's not too much you can say on that. Now, it's at, 168. It's not the most competitive division. If we being real, it's not the most competitive division in boxing, but it's still a respectable, undisputed feat. You got to give him credit for that. But I think where the issue that outside of the drug cheating and all that shit, and outside of the the favoritism by the WBC and shit like that, I think the biggest gripe that people have with Canelo is like, bro, you are this good, bro. Like, you are extremely skilled. You are good. You're great. We don't need to see you in there with these type of dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that about just Caleb Plant. I'm just saying in general, if you look at how he strategically sets these matches up, it's kind of like, damn, you this good, bro. You can get in there with Benavidez, just smash him out real quick. Let's just see. Get in there with Charlo, smash him out real quick. Let's just see. Get in there with Beterbiev, smash him out real quick. Let's just see. Even if you think Demetrius Andrade is a trash fighter, get in there with Andrade, smash him out real quick. Let's just see. Because you that good, it's like, let's just see. You know. You will still go into those fights as a favorite as well, but at the same time, it's like, it's an X factor there. Motherfuckers, they thinking, they like, oh, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What if Benavidez lands something on him? How he gonna react? How he gonna react when he in there with a dog like that? I don't know. Beterbiev got that power. What if Beterbiev, you know what I'm saying? And he a true 175 pounder. What if he, you know what I'm saying? What if he lands something on him? Like, and what if Charlo hit him with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the thoughts that people have. And I don't think when Caleb Plant, the only thing people were saying was, what if Caleb Plant can take his power? Or what if Caleb Plant can avoid getting hit all night? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. It's different. People, we didn't have those same questions with Caleb Plant. It was like, well, what if Caleb Plant can keep from getting, what if he can not allow Canelo to land something big on him all night? You know what I'm saying? What if he can survive? What if he can make it to the cards? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the same type of energy. Like, if it's one of these other guys that I mentioned, it's like, man, what if they do something to Canelo? But I never really thought about Caleb Plant, stopping Canelo and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That never really was like a huge thing. Salute to the OG, Mr. Munn, back in that super chat, coming through and showing love once again. He said, in the first Triple G fight, he put up a good show. Hold on, he said he put a good bit of pressure on Canelo and didn't allow him to completely take control. Facts. And look, I know a lot of people thought that Triple G won the first fight. I had Canelo winning both fights. I thought he won the first fight. 7-5. I thought he was boxing well off the back foot. But at the same time, those fights were both close, especially the first one. You know what I'm saying? Triple G was putting that pressure on him. You ain't never really seen nobody back up Canelo like that. I want to see if Benavidez can back him up. You know what I'm saying? I want to, like Big Tex 33 just said, he ain't got no defense. Benavidez, he don't got no defense. He don't got no defense. Like, for real, he don't got no defense. That's going to be his big problem. That's going to be his problem for real. He don't got no defense. A lot of people feel like Benavidez a whoop on Charlo. I think Charlo will beat Benavidez at 168. If he go to 168 and feel like, I think he'll beat Benavidez. I think his defense better, and Benavidez he ain't got no defense at all. I think that's a great fight, though. That's 50-50. Either one of them can win that fight, but I would favor Charlo over Benavidez. But styles make fights. Benavidez might have better chance versus Canelo. But, you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. That's why I want to see these fights. But that's if I had one major issue with Benavidez versus Canelo, he don't got no defense. Soon as he missed one of those shots, one of those big shots, Canelo make a miss and counter him with something clean, ain't no telling how he gonna react. But it's a good fight though. It's a lot of unknowns. It's a good fight. Benavidez got the pressure and fast combos. Facts. It's a good fight, man. It's a good fight. What I think should happen, to be real, I think either Charlo gonna fight Andrade, you know, which is a whole nother. I done made multiple videos on how them motherfuckers need to quit all that bickering back and forth and just fight. But if either he gonna fight Andre or he gonna go up there and fight Benavidez and then go for Canelo after that. That's what I think really should happen. You know, if Jamal Charlo really serious about trying to fight Canelo, he need to go up to 168 and say fuck it. Because you know Canelo ain't coming down to 160. So you might as well go on up. If you ain't going to fight Andre and you ain't fighting Triple G, then you might as well go on up there, fight Benavidez, see what that look like. You get past him, you get in there with Canelo. That's what I say. Said I had Triple G winning the first one. Man, you know what? I wouldn't even. I'm not even gonna debate you on that, bro, because that was such a good fight. That was such a competitive fight, and I think that was the first fight. That was one of those fights where it depends on what you was looking for the most. If you was looking at the aggression of Triple G, him coming forward, you would have been like, okay, you know what? This fight's so close, I'm going to give this one to Triple G. But if you was looking at the head movement and the defense of Canelo and the really slick boxing off the back foot, that's like, you don't see too many fights where Canelo like boxing off the back foot, being slick and shit. He was doing now. Triple G was landing some shit, but he was real slick off the back foot. You know what I'm saying? I thought Canelo, and he was doing some good offense too. I thought he squeaked that one out barely 7-5, but it was close. So it could have went either way. Big Tech said Charlo need to fight old boy that slapped his brother. Ain't no way Heard's supposed to be walking around. Hey, for real though. For real. They need to do that shit in the ring, man. Heard big enough. He can't make 154 no more. Shit. I wouldn't mind seeing Charlo versus Heard. 160. Make it happen. You know, Heard walk around this motherfucker about 200 pounds and shit. Yeah. Shit. Hey, that goes for both of them, though. Jamel, he seemed like he wasn't too worried or bothered about it at all, either. Shout out to the brother Mike Rahm in the building. What's good? I'm like, damn, Jamel, you just gonna let that man muff you like that and that's it? You feel me? Like, goddamn. Hey, I don't know what them boys got going on. It seemed like they content with just, you know, wearing big jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Driving around in fancy cars. You know, getting the blonde streaks in their hair and shit like that. It seemed like they comfortable. So I can't even really say too much. You know, it seemed like the Charlo's comfortable. And they got my full support. I always support them boys and, you know, everything they got going on, you know, and show them love, you know, because I want to see them win. But it seemed like they comfortable, man. They cool. Jamel Charlo seemed like he cool with getting a draw with Castano. How come let's talk about that. That's definitely something that I want to talk about. How come we ain't got no confirmation, no date or anything for Jamel Charlo versus Brian Castano 2 for Undisputed? Now we know that Castano had Tim Tszyu, who was like #1 contender for his belt. That would have been the only thing that could have threw him off. Well, Tim Tszyu is about to fight this dude named Inoue. So Tim Tszyu already got a fight. So Brian Castano is free. Jamel Charlo, I haven't heard anything about his mandatory being enforced on him. Why we haven't heard nothing about Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano for the rematch? This goes back to what I said. These dudes ain't their own boss. And I'm going to keep it funky with you. I know damn well Brian Castano, he ready. I know he ready right now. If Al Heyman called him up, because look, Al Heyman, he low-key put Mel in a good spot for that Undisputed shit. Because look, Brian Castano had just got the WBO from Patrick Teixeira, who is a Golden Boy fighter who fights on the zone, right? So Al Heyman, he finessed that shit. He like, okay, bet. You know, I got Mel over here. You know, they ain't showing him no love on the pound for pound shit, even though his resume is awesome, even though he the #1 fighter in the most competitive division in boxing. Man, let me show this brother some love. We already got him unified over here on the PBC. Let me put, you know, Brian Castano, he the mandatory for Teixeira. Let's go ahead and make that play. They fought. Castano win the belt. It wasn't even like literally. It was like 2 weeks. They already had the paperwork getting ready for Charlo versus Castano. And Castano immediately in a post-fight interview, he said, all I need is a week and I'm ready. It seemed like he already knew in his mind that they were setting him up to fight Charlo for Undisputed. That was a golden opportunity for Jermell Charlo to become undisputed. He would have been one of the 6 before Canelo was. That was a golden opportunity for him to do that, but he dropped the ball on it. But the point I'm making is that I know Castano, he ready because off top, he was ready the first time. I don't see that energy with Charlo. It seemed like he was cool with just, you know, getting the draw. It seemed like he was okay. Them boys seem like they comfortable to me, you know, and hey, I ain't made millions of dollars, so I don't know what that feel like. Maybe, you know, if I made that type of money, I might get comfortable too. I don't know. So I can't really speak from that perspective, but for what it looked like to me, it seemed like they comfortable, you know. They got big jewelry on, you know what I'm saying? You know, expensive clothes, riding around in pretty cars, blonde streaks in their hair and shit. And they cool, they comfortable. If I'm Jermell Charlo in my mind, I'm like, I need to get back in the ring with Castano ASAP. I need Undisputed right now. I got to get that back. I need that right now. Run that back. They should have been had a date. But again, they go back to that PBC shit. Them boys, they got a schedule and shit. Man, we probably won't see the Charlos again the rest of the year. One fight. We probably won't see them boys again the rest of the year. You're not your own boss. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the brother D Lucky in the super chat coming through and showing love. I appreciate it, my brother. He said, I think Brian could win that rematch. He can. I'm picking Charlo. I thought the first fight was extremely close. I think Charlo would make the proper adjustments to win in a rematch. But Brian Castano can definitely win, though. He can definitely win. You know, I remember telling motherfuckers like, man, look, Brian Castano, that motherfucker can fight. Look, 154, that division is very competitive. It's on fire. Everybody in that motherfucker want to fight. Everybody in that division trying to get to the top. Everybody in that division is willing to fight the best to get to that position. And Brian Castano just another dog in that division, ready for whatever. And he's extremely skilled too. I think he got a great chance to win that fight. But I would favor Charlo in a rematch. I think he'll make the proper adjustments. You know, I haven't really seen Castano in a situation where he had to do a rematch. I seen Charlo come back in a rematch and get a guy to, you know, get a motherfucker the fuck out of there. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happened, man. But, you know, they got to make the fight first. Salute to the brother Eric Davis in a super chat coming through and showing love. I appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate you for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Said if Jermell listened to Coach James, he beats Castano UD. I agree with you 100%, OG. I agree with you 100%. All he got to do is listen to Coach James. He didn't take none of the instructions from Derrick James. He left his jab at the house. Between every round, Derrick James, he giving them the golden. It's like this motherfucker, he giving you the map to the pot of gold. He telling you where to go. And Jamel Charlo, he like, man, I want to go this way. I don't want to go the way you telling me. I'm going to go this way instead. Whole time Coach James giving you the blueprint. Use your jab. It starts with that. You know, he hurt Brian Castano multiple times in that fight. Just by fighting in spurts and shit. See, that's what happened when you fall in love with the power. Number one, you get too comfortable. And then number two, you fall in love with that power. You out here knocking guys out every time you step up in competition. You get knockouts and shit. And it's looking easy. Everything coming easy to you. You know, your checks getting bigger and shit like that. You getting comfortable. You fall in love with that power. You forget, man, you got to keep those fundamentals. And the number one thing, listen to your coach. Especially when you got somebody of the caliber of Derrick James in your corner. Especially when you got somebody like Derrick James in your corner. How can you not listen to him? Come on now. But yeah, I would favor, in a rematch, I would favor Jamel Charlo by UD. I wouldn't be surprised at a stoppage. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Brian Castano won the rematch. But the thing is, they got to make that shit happen, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to understand, like, where is the sense of urgency? We probably won't see either of the Charlo twins fight again the rest of this year. I hope they do, but the way the shit looking, it's like, you know, maybe next year. Said, was there a rematch clause between Charlo and Castano? Nah, it wasn't. There was no rematch clause, which was very odd to me. You know, very odd to me. I don't know if it was because maybe there was some type of restriction on the rematch clause because of the demand from the sanctioning bodies. Because you know how they be. You know, WBA, they might try to slick some bullshit in there. Oh, no, you got to fight this guy. You know what I'm saying? We going to, as soon, and that, but look, let me say this, though. Let me say this. It shouldn't even have got to that point. So even if I do agree, and I would love for them to just say, fuck it, no mandatories. Let them fight for Undisputed for the rematch, because that's the logical thing to do. And unifications, especially Undisputed, should trump mandatories all day, every day. But if they did try to enforce some mandatory bullshit on Jamel Charlo, I wouldn't even trip. Because it shouldn't even have got to that point. It shouldn't even have got to that point, bro. Man, Jamel Charlo, he was just 2 rounds. If he would have just used his jab for 2 rounds, Brian Castano wasn't doing nothing but chilling and chilling and chilling and chilling until the last 45 seconds of each round, and then he started going crazy. He started putting on the pressure. He'll chill, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, keeping it. And Jamel Charlo ain't throwing no jab, so he's able to just conserve his energy and sit back and just make it look like he coming forward with, but he ain't doing nothing. But then those last 45 seconds, he like, shit, this motherfucker, he ain't hit me with no jab. You know, he ain't threw no overhand right. He ain't threw nothing. I bet I'm finna press the gas on him. I got full energy now. What they gonna look like to the judges? All Jamel had to do, pop your jab. He could have won the fight off the jab. He just needed 2 rounds of just using the jab. And then you have a 7-5 victory as opposed to a draw. You done hurt the man 2 times. All you needed to do was just show some ring generalship. Jamel Charlo had no ring generalship in that fight. None. And I don't necessarily think that Castano controlled the ring. It was like 2 guys taking turns on, you know, when they gonna turn it up and shit. But there was literally no ring generalship in that fight. And that's one thing I hate that shit when I know a guy's capable of controlling the real estate. When I know this guy can easily control the real estate and show some ring generalship. Even if you got to take a risk here and there, which is undisputed, you supposed to be willing to take all the risks. It don't get no bigger than that. That's like the Super Bowl for boxing. There is no bigger trinket or award that you can win in boxing other than undisputed. There's no bigger title than that. So I would expect you to take whatever risk you gotta take to see that shit through. And I just didn't get that energy from Charlo. So if they didn't, if something happened to where they couldn't make the rematch, I would be fucked up behind that, because I want to see that shit again. And I want to see Jermell have another opportunity to be undisputed. I wouldn't even trip, because he shouldn't even have let it get to that point, bro. That shit should have never even got to that point. Said, I thought Jermell let Castano off the hook in the 10th round. He did, bro. I don't know if his conditioning wasn't up to par. I really don't know what it was, man. But it was certain times in that fight, especially in the 10th round, I'm like, bro, this man hurt. He hurt. Castano was clearly just trying to survive. He was hurt. The dude was in that bitch, you know what I'm saying, looking like he was on stilts. I'm like, goddamn, he finna tip over any moment. But Jermell, he wouldn't step on the gas. Now, the first sign that I noticed from that, my first thought would be a lack of conditioning. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that come to mind when you got a dude hurt and you know you need these rounds, and you know if you get this guy up out of here, you solve all your issues. It's a lack of conditioning. Gotta be a lack of conditioning. That's the only thing I can think of. Said, if Jermell lets Castano set to his attacking pattern in spurts while on the ropes, I think Castano will win a rematch by points. I agree 100%. If Jermell fight like how he fought in the rematch, he gonna lose. He'll lose. If he fight that same fight that he fought in the first fight in the rematch, he gonna lose. You know why? Because Castano know that I can take this guy's power now. I can take a shot from him and it's gonna be okay. I might get hurt. I might get buzzed, but I'm gonna survive. And all Castano gonna do is turn it up just a little bit more. He gonna be like, okay, so I did this and I did that. This got me to draw. If I just turn it up a little bit more, oh, I'm gonna get that dub. Said Jermell was sloppy with his finishing moves. Yes, bro. Sloppy as fuck. I'm like, bro, just calm down. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's why I like dudes like, you know, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, that's why I think he the best in boxing when it come to finishing motherfuckers. Jerron Boots Ennis. When they get you hurt, it ain't all that sloppy shit. It's like precision. You laying the right shit at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta know, you gotta realize when you got a wounded prey out there. You know what I'm saying? You got a wounded animal out there. And now it just come down to precision, because you done already put the work in to hurt him and get him in a favorable position for you. Now it's like, I can't let this fool go. I done spent all this time and energy hunting him down. I gotta close the deal. I can't let this fool get away. No, I done stalked this motherfucker 2 miles. No, he coming with me. I gotta get that. That's why I like motherfuckers like Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? When he get you hurt, he ain't missing shots. No, he keying in. You know what I'm saying? Cold-blooded. He waiting for the perfect time. Okay, I already know he hurt, so I don't have to do too much. Let me just pick my shots. Let me make sure the shit I'm throwing is actually landing, because it's only going to take 1 or 2 of them bitches. This is going to take 1 or 2. And he done. That's it. Said male IQ needs to develop way more. I agree. But you know what that comes down to as well? Listening to your coach. But to your point, that's a part of IQ as well. Because as a fighter, there's certain things that you see in the ring that your coach don't see. But where IQ comes into the play, like when Floyd Mayweather told his pops, Big Floyd was telling him versus Manny, he was like, look, you can get this dude up out of here right now. He ready to go. Now you can press forward on him. Floyd was like, I hear you, Pops, but I'm working on something. See, that's IQ, because you got to know when to take certain things and use it and when to go off of your own instinct. Jermell Charlo tried to go off his own instinct when it really wasn't there. He should have been listening to his coach. But that's, to your point, that's IQ. If his IQ was up there like it should be, and he's shown great IQ in certain fights, but in that fight, it wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? In that particular fight, it just wasn't there. You know, when he should have been listening to Derrick James, he wasn't. And I mean, everything, the shit hurt me a lot, because you know how you be watching the fight and you going for a fighter, you know what I'm saying? And even if you're not going for a motherfucker, you just watching both guys and you like, damn, you need to be doing this, do that. And then when I'm listening to Derrick James telling this man exactly the same shit that I'm screaming at the TV, and I'm thinking, okay, bet, Derrick telling him now, so he gonna do it. And he still ain't doing the shit. I'm like, God damn, man, is he trying to lose this fight? What the fuck? This man trying to lose? I'm like, bro, just jab. Hey, and then it got to this how I know Derrick was getting fed up. This how I know Coach James was getting fed up, because at the end of the fight, even though I don't necessarily think that he felt like Jermell Charlo was like extreme, like down on the cards, crazy and nothing like that, but he knew that he wasn't up on the cards. He didn't have no lead or nothing. But he told him, bro, you need a knockout. He was like, bro, at this point, if everything that I just told you ain't gonna get through your head, let me just tell you this. You need a knockout. You feel me? He had to do something to wake Jermell Charlo up in that 12th round, bro, because if he didn't say that, we might be talking about a 7-5 victory for Castano. We might be talking about Castano undisputed right now. If Coach James didn't tell him he needed a knockout in the 12th round. Because shit, nothing else was getting through his head, bro. It's like, God damn. I'm telling you what to do. I'm giving you the game plan, and you not listening. See, that's another problem. Fighters think they Floyd when they just not. That's facts. He said, just fight the way you fight. Big facts. Big facts, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not built like that. You know, and when you got a coach like Derrick James, bro, you got to use that shit to your advantage. I think Errol Spence is an incredibly gifted fighter. And I think Errol Spence is one of those guys with extremely high boxing IQ. And he make adjustments in the ring. But you know what else he gonna do? He gonna listen to Derrick James. He gonna listen to Coach James. Because he know everything that they worked on. That's the reason why they here. That's the reason why they in this position. But again, that's IQ. Salute to the brother Maurice Bridges in a super chat coming through and showing love. He said, I was at that fight live. It seemed to me Mel was scared of Castano power. Damn. You know what? It could have been that, bro. It could have been that. You know, I don't know why he would be afraid of his power, because I've seen Charlo take solid punches from bigger punchers. But that is very much so possible. You know, a lot of people don't give Tony Harrison credit for his power, man. Tony Harrison, before he really developed his game into a more balanced and overall, more balanced and skilled boxer, man, Tony Harrison was a bona fide knockout artist. Real power. Man, Charlo took solid shots from him. You know what I'm saying? Jason Rosario, real power. Charlo took some solid shots from him. So that's one thing that I did. I knew Castano could crack, but I'm like, he ain't gonna knock out Jamel. You know what I'm saying? But maybe Castano, hit him with some shit to where he was like, I don't know. Said I agree with fam, but he was scared because he got hurt in the third. After that, he wasn't the same. See, I necessarily didn't see Jermell Charlo like visibly hurt in the fight. And the reason why I don't necessarily agree with that, with him not being the same after the third round, is because as the fight began, in the first round, I thought Jermell was being too passive. In the second round, I thought Jermell was being too passive. Even though he hurt Castano, I thought he was being extremely passive. I'm like, where's the jab? Where's the distance control? And then after the third round, it was just much of the same. Go back and watch those first 2 rounds with Charlo and Castano. He was passive, even in the first 2 rounds. More passive than he should have been. I think when Castano got him on the ropes, he landed a good shot. It looked crazy to us because his head popped back. But I don't think Charlo was hurt. I don't think he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I know he felt that shit, but I don't think it was nothing where like his brain scrambled and shit. He was good. And he just continued to fight the same way he fought the first and the second round. The only difference in the second round was that he hurt Castano. That's it. If he didn't hurt Castano probably would have won that round. To be real with you, because Castano he was back and back on the rope. When he hurt Castano, he was like on the ropes. Castano had him on the ropes when he hurt Castano. You know what I'm saying? When Jermell Charlo, in the second round, when Jermell Charlo hurt Castano, he was backed up against the ropes. He was passively just giving Castano real estate, just backing up willingly. I'm like, why you the bigger man? Why you backing up? Salute to the brother Des, Bitchy Belichick. Damn, hey, my fault if I fucked your name up, bro. I apologize, dog. Hey, it's the Merlot, bro. Forgive me, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you for coming through, dog. Said, is that a character flaw if he was scared? Ain't, man, y'all don't be laughing, bro, because y'all know I wasn't trying to do that, bro. But as far as that being a character flaw, I think shit, if you scared, it's a flaw. If you scared in boxing, it's a flaw, period. You know what I'm saying? If you scared in boxing, bro, quit playing, bro. Hey, if you scared in boxing, though, that's a flaw. I don't know about it being a character flaw, but you can't be out there scared, bro, because you're going to get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he was scared. But look, it was it was something, though. It was enough for him. It was something that Castano was doing to make him, like, passive. I don't know what it was, because in the first round, like, when the fight started, in the whole first round, I'm like, man, he backing up and shit. For what? Appreciate you, bro. You know I wasn't trying to fuck your name up, dog. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you for coming through, dog. 100. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that I don't know what it was, bro, but it was definitely something that caused him to be passive. Maybe shit, Castano threw a punch, he weaved that bitch, and he felt the steam on that motherfucker or something. You know, it had to be something. Said Charlo was bothered by Castano's height and aggression. Castano smothered Charlo and didn't really give him time to think. Alamane Cruz, that's a great take. That's a great take. That's a great take, bro. I think that's probably what it was. You know, and I want to give Castano credit because I thought that's one of the things that he brought to the table that was going to make that fight difficult for Jermell Charlo. Salute to the brother A-Side Boxing Talk in the super chat in the building, coming through and showing love. I appreciate it, brother. He said if you boxed before, you know that Charlo was fighting to not gas out. He knew Castano's tank was on 100. Ooh, that's another great take. That's another great take. He said he knew that man gas tank was on 100, so shit, I know if I gas out, it's over for me in them late rounds. That's another great take. And that's why I think that, Charlo, he was worried about his condition. And I think that was a big thing too. He was worried about that conditioning. And look, going back to what I was saying about what the brother said about Castano, I compared him to like Sean Porter. I was like, he like the Sean Porter of the 154-pound division. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get, but he more technical. Now, the Sean Porter today, that's like Castano. Now, Castano probably got a little bit more heat. Of course, he a bigger guy. But Castano coming in with that height, being able to get low, like in football, they say low man win. When you can get lower than your competitor, you got the leverage. You know what I'm saying? When you can get underneath them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? When you the shorter guy and you know how to use that shit to your advantage and you can get up under them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And you can really put pressure on them and you ain't gonna allow him to set nothing up. Oh man, that make a world of difference. Castano did a great job of putting that pressure on Jermell. He did. Which is a whole nother reason why I was saying use the motherfucking jab. You don't gotta think to use the jab. Now you do gotta, I may be just throwing it out there a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta be precise with the jab, but when all else fails, you can use that motherfucking jab. Now I know when you throw that jab, you gotta worry about a motherfucker coming behind and countering that bitch. That's true. But that's why you gotta have your distance control on point. You got to use that damn jab. I don't give a damn. I tell everybody this all the time. When it comes to breaking down fights, I'm going to say this. Don't never let no motherfucker take your jab away. Don't never let no motherfucker take your jab away. You got to use that motherfucking jab. I don't give a fuck what happened. Never let nobody take your jab away. If you gotta go down, if you gotta get knocked out behind that jab, you don't never let nobody take your jab. Because you let somebody take your jab, you lost the fight. You let somebody take your jab away from you, bruh, the fight over with. I don't give a damn if you gotta use different variations of it. You gotta use it though. Even if it's just like, you know what I'm saying, just a distance jab. You ain't even really, every now and then you gotta put something behind it to let them know that bitch stiff. And if you don't block, if you don't move your head, this bitch gonna hurt. Every now and then. But even if you just trying to find some distance, man, your feet got to be working too. So that goes back to conditioning. But never let nobody take your jab away, bruh. You got to throw that bitch. You got to use that motherfucker, man. You got to use that jab, bruh. You got to use that jab, bruh. I don't care if you just throwing that bitch every now and then to the stomach. you know, or if you just, you know, even if you just use it rangefinder, you know what I'm saying? You just putting that bitch out there. Just let a motherfucker think you gonna throw it. You know what I'm saying? You got it, bruh. Don't let nobody take your jab away, bruh. Because once you let somebody take your jab, it's over. Said all facts unless you're Roy Jones, you better have a damn jab. Facts. Facts. Roy Jones was once in a lifetime type of fighter when it comes to athleticism, hand speed, and fast twitch muscles and shit like that. He'll go in that bitch. He don't need no damn jab. But everybody not like that. You gotta have a jab, bruh. You gotta have your jab. That's gonna set everything up. And especially if you're the bigger guy and you got a come forward fighter who thrives on fighting on the inside. Bro, how you gonna win if you ain't got no jab? What you gonna use to keep him from getting into his wheelhouse? What you gonna use to keep him from getting where he comfortable at? How you gonna offset him? How you gonna throw his rhythm off? He can come in with the same rhythm every time because you ain't got no damn jab. The only other thing that you can use is feints. But to be honest with you, bro, them feints ain't shit without no jab. Yep, a jab is an offensive and defensive punch all at the same damn time. Hey, that's a great point, Tex Rock. That's a great. I never heard nobody put it like that. That's a great point. Jab is an offensive and a defensive weapon at the same time. That's why it's so important. Jab does so much. I done seen fighters win a whole fight off the jab alone. I done seen a motherfucker win a whole fight just off the jab. That's how important it is. Are they talking about Spence versus Castano? Man, that'll be a great fight. At 154, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I know one thing. Earl Spence gonna use that damn jab. I tell you that. But that'll be a dog fight though. Castano ain't gonna go in there and lay down and then that's gonna be a dog fight. That'll be a dog fight. At 154? That'd be a dog fight. I would love for that to be, you know, if Earl can get past Crawford or whoever he got to go through to be undisputed and he go up to 54, I think that's one of the first fights I want to see. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him test out that new 154-pound frame out with Castano. That shit'll be nasty. That'll be a dog fight. I mean, somebody going down in that fight. That's going to be a good one. So you can absolutely dominate an opponent with a great jab. Facts. Man, you got to have that jab, bro. That's one thing that I always look for in a fighter. When I see up-and-coming fighters, I'm telling y'all, when I'm looking at these new guys, and I'm like, okay, somebody put me on to somebody. Okay, check him out. You know what I'm saying? See what he got. Whether it be them coming out the amateurs, you know what I'm saying? Or they just a few fights in the pro game. That's one of the first things I look for. Let me see what his jab like. I look at everything else, you know, because, you know, defense, head movement, footwork, all that shit important. You know, power, that shit important. All that combination punches, all that shit important. But the first thing that I look for What type of jab he got? Because that tell me a lot. That tell me a lot. What type of jab he got? Ortiz versus Castano. Ooh, say that'd be cold. Somebody going to sleep. That'll be, ooh, that's a barn burner right there. That'll be cold. That'll be cold. I want to see that. I gotta see that. Said facts. Bro, did you see Abdullah Mason debut last week? No, bro, I didn't see him. I gotta check him out, man. When I get off the live, I'm gonna check him out. I said Ortiz getting KO'd. I don't know. Because Ortiz gonna be strong at 154 too. That'll be a good ass fight now. I like both guys' chances, but I like Ortiz in that fight, man. You know, if he can take Castano power, cause he gonna be coming forward with that pressure too. And look, we just got through talking about jabs. Did y'all seen Virgil Ortiz jab versus Mean Machine? Shit. Virgil Ortiz jab looking ferocious. That boy got a jab on him. Hey, Virgil Ortiz, see, I like when fighters be improving and they show me different shit when they move up in competition. Virgil Ortiz jab, nasty. Hey, if y'all ain't Derek Lincoln in the building, salute to you, my brother. Hey, if y'all wasn't paying attention, hey, go back and watch that fight. Virgil Ortiz jab, ridiculous. That bitch be coming out like, it's on fire. Like that hoe gonna go through your body or something. I'm like, God damn, that bitch. And it's fast. It's like it got speed and power on it. That man jab nasty. Yeah, now he could definitely get countered though. You know. But see, when you're an offensive fighter, that's one thing you always got to worry about. I worry about that with Boots sometimes. With Crawford, remember how I always tell y'all that Crawford is his downfall whenever he win or if he ever does lose, it's gonna be that dog. Because he's such an offensive fighter, you gonna get countered. You gonna be open for shots. Because they take chances. Virgil Ortiz, that's why he got hurt by Mean Machine. He's so offensive. You know what I'm saying? Boots, I be thinking about the same shit with Boots. I'm like, damn, you seen Thomas Delorme landed something on him. Sergey Lipinets landed something on him. You know what I'm saying? When you that open and offensive, they gonna hit you with something because you too busy throwing shots. Motherfucker gonna time your ass, and all it take is one. So that's why. That's one thing that I do worry about but it ain't even really nothing to worry about because that's their style. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. And I would love for a fighter to be offensive like that. If you got the arsenal, why not? You got to take risks. It's boxing. You gonna get touched. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get touched. You gonna leave yourself open, especially if you're an extremely offensive fighter. But that is one thing that I do worry about with Boots and Virgil Ortiz and Terence Crawford. Guys with a whole lot of offense, so much to give. It's always going to be some coming back. And up until this point, shit, they've been able to take it. So we'll see. Said that was the issue with Paul Williams and Sergio Martinez. Big facts. Great point. Paul Williams was a fool. Offense was crazy. A beast. But Sergio Martinez timed him. What he hit him with? With a left? What he hit him with, a left hook or something like that? I can't remember. I know he hit him with something crazy. Boom! in the middle of an exchange. That's what happened when you offensive like that. Left hook, yeah, it was something. It was nasty. Said Boo's vulnerable to the overhand right. Yeah, he is. He is, man. Say, this got to be a record. We ain't never been cooking this long. Big facts, man. Hey, man, we've been out here talking some good-ass boxing, man. For real. Salute to the brother Derek Lincoln in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, support for my guy. Someone match me for your boy, Contender Resigning Boxing. Man, I appreciate you, bro. Good to have you here, man. Yeah, man. Say, we've been having good-ass conversation, man. You know, I love talking boxing with y'all boys, man. Y'all be knowing y'all shit, man. Said overhand left. Yeah. Yeah, bruh. But see, that's the thing with offensive fighters. You know, you always gotta think, is this the fight where it's gonna happen? Especially when you get in there with another elite guy that's good with timing, counter punching, and they got a little bit of offense and power their own self. You know, so that's why when I tell people, even though I think Boots is everything. I think shit in a few years, man, ain't nobody gonna be able to touch that boy. You know, but right now, you put him in there with and I want to see these fights. I think he ready right now. Put him in right now. Any of these guys, I think Boots, Virgil Ortiz, all of them ready for the best right now. But I don't think Boots necessarily beat Errol Spence or Terence Crawford today. I think they'll be able to capitalize on those very mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll be able to capitalize. I think he can win those fights, yes. But if I had to bet my money, I would bet my money on Spence beating Boots today. And I would bet my money on Terence Crawford beating Boots today. If I had to bet on it. I probably would never put no money on that fight, though. Trust me. I wouldn't bet no money against Boots. But if I had to, I would bet on the experienced guys. That's just me. Salute to the brother R. West in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said STL coming through, showing support. Salute, man down, matching as requested. Hey, big facts. Appreciate it, my brother. 100. 100, man. Said Boo's raw, but he need to get more experience. Yeah, and it'll come. It'll come. That's why I say he need to just fight the dudes that's there. If you can't get the champions right now, it's okay. It ain't the end of the world. You know, go fight Blair Cobbs. Go fight Virgil Ortiz. You know, go fight the guys that's available for you to fight. Said, watch Boots versus Eobov and tell me what you think. I remember seeing that fight. I can't recall it like, you know what I'm saying? I can't recollect everything in that fight, but I do remember watching that. I do remember watching that fight. I'm going to go back and watch it just because you said that, though. Said Boots versus Avanesian. That's a good fight. I think Boots should go ahead and take care of Butayev, man. Go ahead and get Butayev. He seemed like he a strong guy. What is he, Russian or something? He seemed like he's strong. You know, he could take some punishment. I don't know if I don't know how much that does for him skill wise, but I think it's a durable guy that could probably go some rounds with you. Because I think that's what Boots need. Boots need rounds. We got to keep in mind, Jaron Ennis haven't been past the 6th round in his whole career. Jaron Ennis needs somebody that can go rounds with him. Man ain't been past the 6th round yet. He damn near 30 fights in. He ain't been past the 6th round yet. He getting everybody the fuck up out of there. So Boots needs somebody that's gonna get in there, that's gonna go some rounds with him, push him just to give him a different look. Let him get some rounds up under his belt. Yeah, Boots getting everybody out of there. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I I really don't know any of these contenders or any of these guys ranked, that's not champions, that's ranked in these sanctioning bodies. I don't know who will be able to give them that challenge. Because the way it's looking right now, man, he putting everybody to sleep. He's stepping on everything. But again, we always got to keep in mind with this as well. We see this with boxing a lot. When guys when they raise up to a certain level of competition, the knockouts start to dwindle down a little bit. Now, sometimes, once you get to a certain level and once you're there for a period of time and you get into your prime and you find yourself, you find what works for you, you find, you have the experience that matches the talent now, then you start knocking guys out again and you take it to a whole nother level. You continue to ascend. But most times you'll see when a guy goes from the level that Boots at right now and then you jump instantly to the top level, those knockouts, they start going down. You see boys start going more rounds. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That ain't got nothing to do with the fighter. See, that's one thing that I don't like when people, they'll try to discredit guys. They'll say, oh, he ain't got no power now. No, it ain't that. It's just now he fighting guys that got better defense now. Now he fighting guys that they got offense too. Like Keith Thurman, yeah. Now he fighting guys that they coming with some shit too. They got good chins too. They punch resistance good. They got good defense. So a lot of the shit that you was hitting, that you hit Thomas Delorme with, you might not hit Earl Spence with that. He gonna land some shit. But Earl done seen a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna look a little different when you get in there with Earl Spence. It's gonna look just a little different. That was a great example though, Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was knocking everybody out one time. That's his moniker. Keith One Time Thurman. You know what I'm saying? But he fights Sean Porter. You know what I mean? No knockout. Not even a knockdown. Danny Garcia. No knockout. Not even a knockdown. Manny Pacquiao. You get knocked down. You know what I'm saying? That's how I go. When you raise that level of competition, shit start to change a little bit. And that's another reason why I think with this fight with Terence Crawford and Sean Porter, even though Terence Crawford, he has beat some credible guys, but just not on this level. Not in this division and not on this level. Said shit, Thurman almost got stopped by Josito Lopez. He did. Facts. Shit, Luis Collazo too. I don't know how he got out of that round with that body shot. I thought it was over for him. But, with Terence Crawford and Sean Porter, man, we don't really know what Terence Crawford gonna do with Sean. I think we all got a great idea of what he can do, but Crawford been knocking everybody out. If he go in there with Sean and he don't hurt Sean, you know what I'm saying? Let alone knock him out. Let's say he don't even buzz Sean Porter. What that say about Terence Crawford power? It don't mean he don't got power. It just means he raised his level of competition. It just means his competition level is up. Now, if he go in there and stop Sean, that's a statement. That's a statement. That's a statement. He stopped Sean Porter. And keep in mind, Sean Porter is younger than Terence Crawford. It ain't about much, but he's younger, if we want to be technical. But both of these guys are in their prime. I think Terence Crawford is in the prime of his career right now. Fuck that age shit. Fuck him being 34. That man in his prime. Mentally, physically, skill-wise, Terence Crawford in his prime. And he ain't been in a whole lot of battles. Sean Porter in his prime right now. Sean Porter vibrant. He still believe he can win. He's still fighting the best. He's still competitive in every fight. You know, win or lose. So, if he stops Sean Porter, that's a huge statement. That's a huge statement. That's a huge statement. Said, what if Crawford go in and stop Porter quicker than he did Kell Brook? Shit. That let you know that motherfucking power is real. It's the real deal Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? If he do that, that's how you know it's real. I already know the power real. Whether he stops Sean Porter or not, I already know it's real. But if he stops Sean Porter, it's a hell of a statement. Said 34 years old with 37 fights is minimal. Fighters fighting once or twice per year these days. Crawford 34 is like Hagler's 27 years old. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you 100%. I think Crawford is in phenomenal condition. I think he's taking good care of himself. You know, he's always in shape, always in the gym, always doing the right things. You know what I'm saying? I think he's in phenomenal condition. So I think if he want to fight now, if he in these next few years, if he start getting in battles and shit, he get in there with Earl. You know what I'm saying? He get in there with, you know, with Ortiz, Keith Thurman. He get in there getting some battles and shit. You know, shit might start changing in the next few years. But I think Terence Crawford can fight for 5 more years, man, and be good. You know? I think he can fight for 5 more years and be good. Yeah, like Nick J just said, he well preserved. Well preserved. Said if he do that, Spence might be like, shit. Damn. He said he said if he do that, Spence might be like, shit, I need 80-20. Hell no, don't do my boy like that. No, shit, I think that's gonna make Earl want to smoke even more. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be like, shit, now I really gotta make a statement now. On me. You know what I'm saying? To be truthful, I think all roads lead to that fight next anyway. But if Bud go in there and fuck over Sean like that, I think that shit gonna make Earl want him even more. Cause it's gonna be like, nah, all right, now you trying to outdo me. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now I really gotta get on your ass now. I gotta let motherfuckers know his levels. Salute to the brother Derek Lincoln in the super chat. Coming through and showing love one more time. He said, what if Porter stop Bud with that chin of his? That's another valid question. Because I am not of the belief that that's impossible. I think Sean Porter can stop Terence Crawford. I don't think it'll be like on some one punch shit. I think it'll be like how he did Andre Berto. Y'all remember what Sean did to Berto? You know what I'm saying? He had Berto in that bitch looking confused. Hey, Berto was like, man, I don't know what he hit me with. Hey, Berto couldn't tell what he was getting hit with. All he knew this shit, he was down and out. You know what I'm saying? Andre Berto was like, man, this dude hit me with headbutts, elbows, punches. He hit me with everything. Real, if you don't see this? Salute to the brother Jay Harris, too real, back in that super chat, coming through and showing love. He said Keith Thurman said something interesting. He spoke about Porter. He said he spoke about how Porter had power in the amateurs from the rumors of his camp. They're saying he's getting back to that. What if he stops Bud? Man, great point. Great point. It's possible, bro. And y'all both said that shit at the same time. That's crazy. Bro, it's possible, bro. It's possible. I really think he can. I really think he can. Said, yeah, Porter was mauling Berto. Hey, that's the exact word to describe Sean Porter's victory over Andre Berto and Paulie Malignaggi. Now, I'm not saying Terence Crawford is either one of those guys, but I think he can do what he did to them to Terence Crawford. I think on any given night, Sean Porter can do that to anybody. It just depends on how the shit fall. You know what I'm saying? Like Sean Porter, he can go in there and fuck around and maul Terence Crawford. He can, bruh. Like, let's keep it 100, man. Hey, Sean Porter can go in that bitch and maul Terence Crawford. Say we gonna have another AB situation. Oh, shit. Damn. Hey, salute to the brother Derek Lincoln back in the super chat, coming through and showing love, man. He said we gonna have another AB situation. Golly, man, that shit crazy. Dog, that can happen. That can happen. Porter is very physically strong. You know? And his style, it's not the most polished. It's not the most technical, though he has kind of sharpened his game a lot more in recent years. And that's what I think makes Sean Porter even more dangerous, because we all know that he can always fall back on that rough housing. He can always fall back on that rough housing, physical, in your face, smother all your punches style of fighting. Sean Porter can fall back on that instinctively. He don't even have to think about it, and then he can just instantly revert to that. But he also has very good boxing skills. Even Terence Crawford talked about that. Listen to Terence Crawford, his interviews. He tell every time he get on the camera since this fight done been made, he been telling people, like, a lot of people don't know Sean Porter can box. And he's been getting better time after time after time. You know, you see him mixing in the in and outs, the pivots. You know what I'm saying? You know, Crawford, he might be fighting southpaw. Terence Crawford can turn a southpaw. Sean Porter, he can turn a southpaw now. He good at turning the motherfucking southpaw and getting you in a bad position. You know, got fast hands, good feet, athletic. He can get in where he fit in. Hey, man, Sean Porter is a dangerous fighter. He's a dangerous fighter. So I'm not going to say, it wouldn't totally surprise me if Sean Porter went in there and mauled Terence Crawford. I would be a little bit surprised, but it wouldn't totally surprise me. Because, number one, we haven't seen Crawford on this level. And then, again, this is Sean Porter. And I've seen Sean Porter do it before. He said he did it to Earl a few times. He did. He did. Sean Porter turned Earl a few times. You know what I'm saying? Earl Spence was coming forward. He think he got Sean Porter on the ropes, cornered and shit. Man, Sean Porter hit him with a look. Whoop. Next thing you know, Earl Spence the one on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? And then Sean Porter just start letting shit off. He'll do that to you. He can do that, man. That's why I always like Sean Porter against Manny Pacquiao. I've always liked Sean Porter versus Manny Pacquiao. I always like that. Because Sean Porter, he good. He can turn your ass. If you a southpaw, he can turn you. He can turn you. And all it take in the middle of that turn, all it take is for him, because most times you vulnerable. All it take is for him to land a few of them bitches, and, you know, it just depends. maybe on that night he hitting hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? His power ain't, you know, he's shown power in some fights, in most fights, not so much. But what if on that particular night, November 20th, his shit hidden? What if on that night his shit hidden? Just gotta wait and see. We just gotta wait and see. But man, that's gonna be a hell of a fight. I can't wait. Said Porter has underrated footwork. I agree 100%. That's one of his best attributes, man. His foot movement, foot speed, footwork, angles, pivots. Man, that's some of the best stuff he do. Said if Porter had real punching power, I would feel a lot different about this fight. But Porter ain't got no damn. Said Porter ain't got no damn power. Hey, I feel you, bro. I feel you. I don't think it's likely that he stops Terence Crawford. I don't even think it's likely that he hurts him severely or anything like that. But I think it's possible though. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. But I agree with you, man. Hey, Terence Crawford, he the favorite. Got more tools, bring more things to the table. When you just talking to you, throw the resumes out the window and you just look at the film. And you look at what this guy can do and what this guy can do. Terence Crawford, he bring a whole lot more to the table. So, in my eyes, he the favorite. But trust and believe, I would not be surprised if Sean Porter win that fight. I would not be surprised. Said Porter just moves so much he never sit down on his shots. That's true. And that's why I was saying, what if he turn, you know, he get Terence Crawford in a position and on this particular exchange or this particular combination, he decide to sit on them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? He decide to sit on his shots. You know, something can happen. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter might have that look in his eyes, man. I don't know. But look, man, I'm finna go ahead and get on up out of here, man. I'm hungry as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm up here starving like a hostage. Boy, I'm hungry as a motherfucker, man. But look, I hope y'all have a great weekend, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through and rocking with me, man. Everybody that super chatted, thank you so much for your support. Appreciate it. Everybody that commented in the regular chat, I appreciate the engagement and interacting, man. You know what I'm saying? Talking this good boxing with y'all, man. Hey, salute. You feel me? I hope y'all have a great weekend. Be safe out here. You know what I'm saying? And shit. We got Benavidez versus K-Ron, what's the name? Kyron Davis. You know, it's just a live body. I ain't trying to disrespect it, brother, but it's just a live body to get in there for Benavidez. You know, ain't nothing special, but you know, it's Benavidez. And they got Jose Benavidez fighting too, so I'm definitely gonna watch that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll check back in with y'all, man. Contender Regime Boxing, I'll holler at y'all boys, man.